Sorry, but I'm not rooting for everybody black. So this week Roseanne was canceled. Duh, it was only a matter of time. And the initial statement about Roseanne's racist meltdown was issued by Channing Dungey. She's the president of ABC Entertainment. Now, Channing is a gorgeous black woman, and my initial instinct after reading that statement was like, yes girl, do it on him, black girl magic. Because there are few things more satisfying than seeing a powerful black woman exercise that power over a racist white woman. It feels so good. But then I thought, wait, if this woman had the power to issue this statement, couldn't she have come out against the show before? And then I did a little bit of research and found that she's actually come out in defense of Roseanne. And she was the head of the network when ABC decided to shelve the Blackish episode about NFL player protests. And that raises some questions. Of course, she can't make any decisions unilaterally, and there's a whole chain of command at a broadcast television network. And I'm sure you gotta play the game to get to that position. I get it. It made me think about how often fictive kinship and identity politics distorts our understanding of situations for the worse. Fictive kinship describes imagined communities of shared interests that oppressed people live in. That's how I call black women I don't know cis. And mean it. It's an essential part of black political identity. We do liberation work for ourselves and for each other. But we have to seriously grapple with the fact that all black people are not on the same page. We assume that we're all on the same team because we share certain experiences, but that's not true. In fact, there are a ton of people who say and do things that are terrible for black communities. And therein lies the danger of being obsessed with representation. Because it's too easy to ignore that politics, not bodies, are the key to social transformation. And by politics, I mean a commitment to dismantling all forms of oppression. In an article I wrote for The Guardian, I talked about the fact that identities do matter, but they cannot be the most important thing for us. Treating identities as credentials discourages critical self-reflection. And yeah, I just quoted myself. Meaning, if we think we're automatically right because we are black, poor, woman, queer, etc., where's the incentive to grow, learn, listen, evolve? Why would we want to do better? I know this and I still get caught up. Because even though we say we reject respectability, a lot of us still gravitate toward images of exceptional black people because they make us feel good. We like those images because of what they tell us and the world. And despite the fact that we might understand the nuances, we're still gonna be attracted to them because a lot of us still believe in the idea of linked fate. The concept was first theorized by political scientist Michael Dawson, and it's meant to explain how a lot of black folks feel like if one of us wins, we all win. That's why it makes perfect sense that Issa Rae would say this.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am.
And maybe that does work in certain contexts, but a lot of times, we just gotta chill. At this very moment, I can literally think of dozens of black people I am not rooting for. I might root for them to get some sense and some sound political analysis, but that's it. Forcing ourselves to move out of binaries that put people in certain bodies in the good or bad category means that we have to have more complex conversations about how we move through the world. What are the implications of the choices we're making? Why do we make them? Who do they affect? That's critical, because if we keep fixating on the representation part, we'll keep betting on the same identities, and that has tremendous costs. I always come back to Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill. What did we lose by rallying around a man who used the racialized language of high-tech lynching to enrich himself? Interrogating political investments is not an excuse to burn people at the stake. I critique, but I rarely cancel. What I'm saying is, though identity might be the thing that draws us to someone, that can't be why we stay. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We have new perks on our Patreon, reading lists, event tickets, exclusive content. So if you'd like to help us continue this work, be sure to become a donor or make a one-time donation and join us for events across the country for black women called Black Girls Gather. I'll see you there.